Could Arsenal be looking to bring in Nicolo Barella this transfer window? Yes, people, wife boy, welcome back to another Arsenal transfer news video. I know my setup's slightly different, it's just for this video. I'm currently on the move, but we'll be back to normal for tomorrow's video. Don't you worry about it one bit. But as always, if you're new around here and you do appreciate daily Arsenal transfer news videos that you do not want to miss, make sure you subscribe down below on my road to 4,000 subscribers. I'm very nearly there. And also let me know your thoughts in the comment section regarding Nicolo Barella's potential move to Arsenal. Let's get straight into the tweet brought today by Dean James stating this: there is talk of Arsenal looking to discuss Nicolo Barella with Inter Milan, where any move for Takahiro Tomiyasu is concerned. So for those of you guys that missed it, right, it seems though Inter Milan are interested in Takahiro Tomiyasu. Tomiyasu came from Bologna in Syria, then came over to Arsenal. I think in his first season, well, first 6 months because he signed in January, I thought he was fantastic. Plugged a lot of holes, looked a real versatile player, can play across the back four, and just a really good plug-and-play guy. I'd never assumed he'd be a long-term starter for Arsenal, but whenever he came in the team, he was perfect, brilliant. Last season, he had a bit of a rocky spell. Obviously, we know Tomiyasu has been in and out the injury room, treatment it seems like every week or so he pulls in the muscle or something, out for a few weeks. He just can't seem to stay fit. And when he has been in the team, he's made certain mistakes. Who remembers last season against Man City at home? Terrible back pass. De Bruyne goes through. Probably out of all people in that Man City team, for all the superstars they have, you want at least to fall to Kevin De Bruyne. That man is a technician. Loops it over Ramsdale into the back of net. We end up losing that game 3-1. Is it down to him? Some of the fault is down to Tomiyasu's poor pass, right? But it's one of those things. When he's been in the team, he's been a bit lackluster. Hasn't quite got up to the pace for the rest of the Premier League team in Arsenal. So I look at that sense and I think I can't really see him starting. Now the talk is that Inter Milan are interested in around £20 million for Tomiyasu. Many are saying that's an underpay. I want more money for Tomiyasu. Can you really demand more money though? Like if you really look at it objectively, he hasn't had much game time last season. He's in and out the injury room, so that is going to knock down his price. I don't think 20 million is that bad for Tomiyasu. Now, I wouldn't sell him because I do think that you can make use of Tomiyasu and it's worth having him in the team in defence. Especially, I believe we don't have the most abundance of defenders, to be honest with you guys. So having Tomiyasu in there is definitely someone that you can plug in at centre-back, right-back or left-back, wherever sees fit. And I love that. But then you've got the opportunity to get Barella here. Now, there's been talks that Barella is unsettled at Inter Milan. Inter Milan are looking to moving on. Obviously, I don't know an awful lot about him. I have watched him. Obviously, I watched him a little bit in the World Cup, and I saw him in the Champions League final for Inter Milan. He's a good player, good midfielder. He's tenacious. I'll give him that. Always running around, chasing everything, every loose ball. Someone that will give his absolute all for the football club. And I think he could be a decent signing for Arsenal. I don't think we bring him in to start, but definitely someone that could come off the bench. I do think we need another box-to-box midfielder. I'll be honest with you guys, because if Declan Rice gets injured, who is Arsenal's box-to-box midfielder? It doesn't exist. Declan Rice is the only one there. Because then you're looking at Havertz, who's more advanced. You're looking at El Neni, who's more defensive. We already know Partey and Jorginho are in the team. They're defensive midfielders. We haven't got anyone that's a link between defensive midfield and attacking midfield. The only one is Declan Rice. So if he gets injured, it could be a bit of a long day. So I'd like to look at this Nicolo Barella guy. I don't think it will cost us an awful lot of money. If we can sell Tomiyasu and then pay an extra 10 million and get Nicolo Barella, I think it's good business from Arsenal. Genuinely, I believe so. Now, obviously, this tweet shows it's early days and we haven't heard any mainstream reporters such as David Ornstein or Fabrizio Romano reveal any information like this. So I wouldn't get carried away. I'm definitely not. I'm not sitting there thinking, oh, Nicolo Barella, he's going to be Arsenal's 5th signing. We're going to get it over the line. Not any of the sorts. It's still early stages. It's still just interest at this stage. And let's not forget that football clubs have an interest in an assortment of players. When you look through their wish list, there's quite a few players in there because there's backup options. I think right now, Arsenal's main thing is get David Raya over the line, which will be done. Medical's booked for tomorrow, I believe. So he will be an Arsenal player by the weekend, I hope. Then after that, it's sell players and look at a versatile attacking player. I will drop in a video tomorrow on a potential attacking right forward Arsenal could sign this transfer window. So make sure you stay tuned, hit the notification button so you do not miss that video. And the Premier League season starts tomorrow, by the way. Burnley versus Man City. I will be live streaming after that game. And of course, the Arsenal game on Saturday against Nottingham Forest. I'll be streaming after that one as well. So make sure you stay tuned for that. This season is going to be bigger and better on this channel. I'm so close to 4,000 subscribers as well. So if you are new around here, I know I gave you a warning at the start, but I really appreciate if you hit the subscribe button on my very, very close road to 4K subscribers. But yeah, Nicolo Barella, I think he'd be a decent signing if we get it over the line. I think a lot of Arsenal fans would agree. I mean, let me know your thoughts in the comment section regarding Nicolo Barella. If you watch a lot of him, please do let me know. I don't really watch Serie A, to be honest with you guys. I've only watched him in the Champions League games for Inter and in the World Cup a little bit. But I do think he's a decent player. I do think that. Whenever I watch, I always rate players that give their all. That's what I really like. And he does strike me as someone like that. I think in that Champions League final, Inter Milan played very well. Especially given that no one really gave him a prayer. no one gave him a hope. Everyone thought Man City would whitewash them, myself included. I thought it was going to be a straightforward game for Man City. Yes, Man City ended up winning the Champions League, but that was nowhere near straightforward. I actually think Inter Milan probably deserved to win that game on the balance of the chances they both had. If Lukaku didn't turn into an absolute bot up front and spurned so many chances, Inter Milan could have won that football game. And Barella was at the heart of that because he was so tenacious, chasing down everything, going forward, going backwards, and being brave as well, because braveness is a really good attribute to have as a footballer. Not being afraid to gamble, to run forward, to go on to loose balls, to chase people down, even though you know you're burning energy and might not receive the football. So I really like that in the man, and I think he'd be a decent player going forward. I do think Arsenal, if there's two positions to address, I do think we need to address an attacker and a box-to-box midfielder. I'd love to sign a striker as well, but I do understand, right, that to sign a striker, you can't just spend 30 M's on a striker. That's not the position for that. If you're going to sign a striker, you sign a proper striker. There's no point wasting 20 million, 30 million. This isn't chump change in a striker. This isn't someone to plug a hole. A striker is your franchise player. It is the main player in your team. That is a position you drop 80 to 90 million pounds on. No questions asked. If Arsenal spend 90 million on a Victor Osimhen next summer, no one complains. But if we spend 30 million on a cut deal on like a striker that maybe scored 15 goals in Serie A, that's not Osimhen or Ligue 1, you're sitting there thinking, it's a risk. The striker position is not where you take a risk, because the striker position will define whether you win or lose the title more often than not. If we had Erling Haaland last season, we win the title. If we had any striker that would have scored us 20 goals in the Premier League last season, we probably win the title. Do you get what I mean? So I understand that a striker should probably be left for next summer, and that's what I'm hearing with reports. Also looking at players like Evan Ferguson and Victor Osimhen, potentially next summer to target. But for this summer, it's get David Raya in the door, sell some players, get another attacking forward, and maybe if there's any change left over, try and get a box midfield as well. And a swap deal like Tomiyasu for Nicolo Barella makes perfect sense in that respect. So watch this space. Let's see what happens regarding that news. Of course, there's also news regarding outgoings. Patino has gone to Swansea. I wish him the absolute best. It looks like he was going to get sold at some point, but Arteta's convinced him to, no, go out on loan. I've still got plans for you. My thought is this. I'm a big fan of all the young players coming through Hayland. If you've made it through Hayland, congratulations. You deserve to definitely get some game time. But the thing is, we're at a period now where we're trying to win the title. We haven't got time to give these young players a run around in the team. I know it's harsh, but we just haven't. We've got to rely on steady eddies, real people that know what they're doing, experienced people that have got already at least, I want to say 20 to 30 Premier League games under their belt, if they're in the Premier League before, and if not, like a Timber, etc. Players that have an experience overseas, not just interns coming up through Hayland. So in my opinion, if Patino isn't going to get in the team anytime soon, I'd sell him with a sell-on clause and buyback clause, personally. I know a lot of Arsenal fans won't agree with that and say, no, loan him out, I want to keep him. I think Arsenal fans are a little bit attached to these Hayland products. Not every single player that comes through the first team, that comes through Hayland is destined to make the first team. It's just not the way about it. So what you do is you include some assurance. I would have sold him or loan him out and sell him, because he went to I believe Blackpool last season. Loan him out one more time to Swansea, sell him, but include a sell-on clause and buyback clause, meaning we've got insurance to buy him back, or at least if he does go on again, we make money off him in the future, and then use that money that we would get for him to reinvest and improve our squad now. That's what you do. It's like in the NBA and NFL, right? What the teams that are trying to win the championship right now, they sell their draft picks so that they can get players in that are ready to win the title now. Then on the other side, you've got rebuilding teams that sell their good players to get draft picks so that they can bring up young players. It's a similar thing in football. Without draft picks, you sell your academy products with sell-on clauses, buyback clauses to bring in ready-made products right now. Use that money to bring in the quality players right now to help you win the title. That's what I would do. Cedric also looks like he's going. Marquinhos to Nantes as well. So let's see what happens regarding that. Of course, there's still 3 weeks left this transfer window. I do expect further movements from Arsenal Football Club. I do not think we're quite done just yet. And I'll be keeping you guys up to date as soon as I hear news regarding Arsenal. So I appreciate you guys all for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe for a new idea on my road to 4,000 subscribers. Become a channel member if you're a hardcore Arsenal fan like myself. It's the first link in the description, and you get access to all my previews for every single Arsenal game this season. I promise you do not want to miss it. I've been Football. I appreciate you guys all for tuning in, and I hope to catch you all in my next one. Take care.